Good morning, guys. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about, I see we're already discussing things. We have the Fed coming out this week. They're going to make some kind of decision on Wednesday that always moves markets. We have CCL. The CEO came out and he said some stuff. Very interesting. He's a little bit more positive than I was thinking, but that's his job. I saw that Bitcoin went up to 61,000 overnight, and now people are getting a little bit worried about this Bitcoin. So we'll see. We have Netflix is doing some big things. Airline traffic is up, but what does that really mean? And then this is a big week for earnings, so we're going to see what happens. Yee, let's see. So futures all morning. I mean, I was up at 2, 3, 4, then I finally woke up at 5, and all of a sudden now we have time out. Let me get my screen share going. Hold on, let me get my screen share going. Bear with me, I'm not the tech guy. Give me 1 second, and then we'll get going. I just got to get my screen share going, but Seth did a great job with the intro, and give me 1 second here. Hey. Thank you. Yeah.
Click on that new scene,
it'll
just show a picture of you.
Yep.
And in the middle of the screen on the top, there's a button that says share screen. It's a little picture of a computer. Click that button, and then you can click. What application. So current application, just go ahead and click on your internet browser.
Okay.
There we
go. Yeah, I want this screen though. I want primary screen. How do I switch it to primary screen?
Somewhere on there, there's a little box pops up that says show current application display.
Oh, okay. Yep. primary. There we go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see you.
Bye. All right, there we go. All this stimulus is jacked up. Oh, yeah, I want the stimulus. But anyways, let's get started. So first things first, I woke up early this morning, like I said. Futures were going, everything was positive, but now we're negative. So let's see what happens this morning. I don't know. But the thing I want to talk about first is this FOMC meeting. So Fed is meeting this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, to make decisions based on, what the monetary policy and whatnot. So they've said that they're going to keep rates effectively at zero through the end of 2023. So is this going to happen? I'm not totally sure, to be honest with you. Because there's been so much talk about inflation and rising Treasury rates and stuff. So the decision is going to come out on Wednesday at 2:00. Of course, Jerome Powell is going to he's going to speak at 2:30. I joke with my friend Nick all the time that every time Jerome Powell speaks, that decision, whatever it is, always sends markets in one direction or the other. For the last, year or something, it's always sent markets in the negative direction when he's spoken, and then typically we get some kind of change. So the big thing is that over the past over the past 3 weeks, that 10-year Treasury yield has climbed 50 basis points, and it's now 1.6%. So this is something that a lot of people are talking about. A lot of people are really worried about. I mean, I'm not too concerned with it. To me, 50 basis points coming from such a low number, it is what it is. But he'll speak, and it seems like Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen are now on the same page about things. So this is going to be interesting to see what markets do, and to be honest, their overall outlook going forward. It kind of worries me just to see what they're going to do, because with all of this money that's being printed, I think at this point, stimulus money alone, I think we're at over $12 trillion. I could be wrong, but I think that's true. And at some point, inflation has to come into play. You can't put this much money into the market and inflation doesn't play a role. So, hey, we'll find out. We will find out. But let's go over to CCL. So the CEO of Carnival has said that he sees 2 more rough years for the industry. Previously, I have said that I do not see Carnival and those alike getting back to pre-COVID levels of revenue for at least 5 years. And I'm not saying that people are not going to be on the boats. I'm saying that people are going to be on the boats and paying discounted rates. So I don't know when they're going to be able to get people back on the boats and they're going to be paying full price. That's my main concern. But he's thinking that they're going to get back to pre-pandemic levels by at least 2023. He knows his industry better than I do. I hope he's correct. I see this as a value play. I'm heavily invested in CCL. I think when Paul and I did invest in CCL initially back in March or April, we looked at it and said, and we posted a video, I think it was yesterday, on our YouTube page. We looked at it and said, who is in the best financial position out of all of the cruise lines? And it was CCL. So we went ahead and invested with them. But that's that. And let's just stay on the same topic of kind of those companies that have been hit by the pandemic. Airport passengers are at its highest level since March of 2020. Now, this is insane. U.S. airline passenger demand is down 60% in 2020. That is outrageous. And it shows. I do travel at least once a month, I would say, domestically, and I go to Mexico, and I think that's pretty much the only international place I go, but consistently. But the airports they're just dead. When you do go to places that are more traffic, like Newark, Chicago, O'Hare, Houston, Dulles, those are typically packed airports. There's people there, but it's nothing like it used to be. So I'm interested to see when we're going to start seeing really big traffic at airports again. But they said that this past week, this past this past one day, they screened 1.357 million U.S. passengers. So that's good. I'm glad that the airlines are getting back to it. I saw that Boeing got a big purchase. I think we talked about that last week. They got, I think they had 13 planes ordered from them, and that actually did show in their stock price. I think their stock price is up like 20% or something crazy in the last 10 days or something. This one I just found interesting, and I thought maybe it does apply to some people out there. Netflix is going to crack down on how we're sharing passwords. So I found it crazy that about 33% of all Netflix users share their password with at least one other person. The thing that even they said it in this article is they need to be careful of how they go after these passwords and stuff, because they do not want to, it's right here, Netflix doesn't want to upset its core consumers, which is mostly family users. So I assume that they're going to do this based on geolocation, but the problem is if you have a family and the family doesn't live together, you have 4 people and they're all using the same Netflix account, but they're all related. I guess Netflix doesn't frown upon that based on this sentence right here about family users, or even if you're in the same house. I don't really know how it's going to work, but it's going to be, I think that there will be some kind of initial, if they do put this into play, I think there's going to be some kind of initial, oh boy, maybe a pullback on the stock price. I don't know. But I think over time, I mean, Netflix, they're a great website or a great streaming service. Incredibly efficient. I started using this streaming service called Peacock recently. My brother signed up for it, so I started using it. And just the comparison of ease of use and flow and just, I mean, man, Peacock is rough. Great content, but Peacock has a long way to go. It just shows how good Netflix is as far as being able to use the service. Let's see. Roblox. I don't know. I actually didn't look at that one yet for Roblox. Unless people are charging people to use their password, they can share it all they want. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, The Office. I mean, that's the reason that my brother got that thing, was because of The Office. So, yeah. I mean, I've been watching the show. What's the name of that show I've been watching? Yellowstone. Great show. Highly recommend it. But yeah, and then last thing I want to talk about, and you guys will probably love this Bitcoin thing. So Bitcoin touched 61,000 overnight, if I read correctly. Oh, Saturday, 61, almost 62,000. And then it fell. And I'm seeing that India is talking about banning cryptocurrency, which that's a huge market. I mean, if this is going to be a global market, then I don't know. I think you need India. They have over 1 billion people. But what I found interesting in this article, and something that I've said a lot, the move towards digital currencies is going to increase and at pace over the next few years. Okay. Now, what was the point of Bitcoin initially? It was to not be regulated. Here we have, this is why financial regulators now make regulation on the cryptocurrency sector. So we're going for something that is not supposed to be regulated, and clearly here it's going to be regulated. I just don't understand how this is going to become. We talk about moving towards digital currency, but to the point that we've made a bunch of times, this is you're investing US dollars to buy something, an asset that increases price, and you sell it to make US dollars. So I don't understand how it's a currency. I mean, you can buy things with it, but I don't know. I'm just going to, this Bitcoin thing, people tell me that I don't understand it. Actually, I was talking to Seth on Thursday after the show, because somebody told me and messaged me, and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about cryptocurrency. And my comment was, how do you know that you're right about cryptocurrency? What makes you saying that you are correct? Because you've read stuff that people told you, and I mean, no one even knows who made this thing. So how are you going to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about? I have no interest in digging into this. I have no interest in reading about it. I care to give my surface opinion, and that's really about it. I mean, if, this could turn into something. I don't know. If the government gets involved, it will turn into something. But that's that. Going on to earnings, big week for earnings. We have Lennar, we have Cintas, Nike, FedEx. AMD is going to talk and unveil some new chips this week. That's today. Doesn't say what time. So this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. What do I bench? I don't really flat. I have never flat benched. If you ask Brody in there what he flat benches, that's a good number. All right. I just want to look at Boeing real quick to see what we have, and then I will start taking your guys' stocks, and we'll get on from there. So Boeing has had a rough go. I mean, they were down here in this 60s range back in March, right when the pandemic was really hitting, because they were not using their orders. So I'm going to talk about this 50% rule. And this is what has made me a little bit leery about Boeing, but maybe this is the news that breaks them out. So that's your high, this is your low, and then this is kind of your 50% area. This area right here is called overhang. Now, overhang is just negative pressure pushing down on the stock. Let me pull up blue. So what you have here is people will buy into the stock, it gets to a certain point, and they take their profits and they sell and the price comes down. Again, buy into the stock, it hits that same level, people sell off and take their profits. So this is just a bunch of negative pressure pointing down, because a lot of traders, and really, I mean, a lot of funds at this point, are buying Boeing and selling based on nervousness. So we have finally broken this resistance line right here. The thing that breaks resistance lines like this is big news and big volume. And you can see that we have a lot of volume the last 4 days, and we're finally breaking out. So is this the news of new orders coming into Boeing that is going to be the game changer for them? I really don't know, but yeah, it could be. So let's see. Flat bench is no blame. Yeah, I do incline bench. I don't do flat bench. All right, FedEx. Somebody asked me about this over the weekend, and I know it looked pretty good. Wow, they've had a great run of recent date. Let's see what they got here. Okay, FedEx isn't looking bad. So they're coming through the sweet spot very nicely. They are just hovering over all their moving averages, and their 100-day moving average is the most prevalent right now. Let's see here. If you get some kind of green engulfing candlestick like that, you could be pretty good until you get maybe to this 285 range. So this is a pretty good stock. Just make sure you got to stay over this 100-day moving average right here, this turquoise line. That is going to be a very important area for you. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So this turquoise line right here, that's a 100-day. And you can see that it broke through it last week. Let's just see if it can keep doing it. Can we look at T or BAH? I'll look at T, I guess. Oh, wow. What happened here? Who asked that question? Let me see here. Jonathan, did T run up in price to a high of? Oh yeah, it did. Okay, so the bad news about AT&T is that it had this really big run up to this top on Friday, and then it pulled all the way back down and finished down here. Not to worry. I mean, you are coming through the sweet spot nicely. Again, AT&T, as we've talked about previously, is a stock that doesn't move very much. You are over all your major moving averages, but this area up here is going to be your resistance point. So unless there's some big news that comes out, T had good news on HBO Max. So what's funny about that is, yes, they had good news on HBO Max, and that sent the stock a little bit higher. But the problem is people clearly didn't foresee and think that it was that good of news, because they kind of ran it up and then everybody sold out of it. So, and you can actually see on Friday you had more selling volume than buying volume. That's why you're red down here. So that's interesting about AT&T. AT&T is driven by news. Yeah, AT&T is driven by news, and clearly it doesn't hold news. So, all right. Facebook. Everybody wants Facebook. All right. Why do you guys want Facebook? What's so special about Facebook right now? All right. So Facebook, the thing I don't like about Facebook initially is we're right under our 100-day moving average. And look how long, okay, this is a 3-month chart. So for the past 3 months, let me draw this line in here. Well, you can kind of see, okay, you see this turquoise line that I'm about to light up? This turquoise line running through. That is the 100-day moving average. You can see that over the past 3 months, it has just been hovering, trying to get through the 100-day, couldn't do it. Tried to get through, couldn't do it. So it's right back up to this 100-day moving average. I'm assuming this has a lot to do with tech stocks just being volatile. People are scared to get in them. I want to see what value I have on Facebook, because Facebook is something that, so my price on Facebook ranges from 176 to 525. And I mean, they've had incredible growth over the past decade or so. And my question is, can they continue that growth? So I have to figure out how to price this, but that's why there's such a big range. But you did, okay, let's look at it. You did do a sweet spot reversal. The only way that I'm buying Facebook, and I know you guys aren't going to like this, is if we get engulfing candlesticks to move up, and I'm probably not going to buy until I get over this, say, 277, 278 mark. This is where the buy high, sell higher kind of drives people crazy, but that's what I would do. I would not buy this thing until I got up here. Yeah. I have to clear this 100-day moving average, and I likely have to clear the, oh, that's funny. Here, your resistance, I don't know if you guys could see it. It says 277.75. So that's exactly the resistance line that's here. And yeah. Okay. AMD. I'll do AMD. AMD is in the news today. I wonder what they're doing right now. They're releasing this new chip. What's this new chip for? That's what I want to know. Probably undervalued right now if they can monetize. So, Jonathan, I think WhatsApp is a terrible app. I mean, it's great that you can connect with people. I really don't like that you can't like a message or just side swipe on a message and then reply to somebody else's message. I also don't like that it says when you're online. I wish you could turn that off. There's just a lot of little things about WhatsApp that I don't like. I started using Signal maybe two or 3 years ago, something like that. And I just liked the platform better. It was just, the ease of use was better. And yeah, don't tell that to Paul. I made Paul use Signal to talk to me instead of WhatsApp, and he wasn't very happy about it. But yeah, Vinny, WhatsApp is huge overseas. Everybody uses WhatsApp. That's true. So I'm a big user of, I think that Signal, just the usability of Signal is even better than iMessage. So that's that. Guys, hit the like button. We have 40 likes and 165 watching. That's not good. Oh, my dislike went away. Awesome. Good job. All right, so here, let's go to AMD. AMD is for sure a downtrend, but it's oversold right now. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So all this is technically is a snapback right now. And the reason it's snapping back is because it hit its 200-day moving average and just kind of bounced back up. So this is what separates good traders from bad traders. Now, we are in the oversold area because we're under this 32% line. This is for sure oversold. But when you do get these snapbacks like this, instead of panicking and getting out of the price, you have to trust your trend. Now, let's go back in this area right here, so I can better show what happened. So we're going to go here, and that will give us basically this red area right here. So you could have gone short on this stock right on this candlestick, and then you start getting this snapback channel. But your trend is still going down, still in the negative direction, and boom, it fell on you. You broke your previous low. Let me clear this. This is just a lot of mess. So you would have added your first time here. This is your previous low. This is a snapback. This is where people would have got out of the stock because all they're doing is looking at price. They're saying stock price went up. I can't do anything. I'm going to lose money. But instead of just looking at the trend, seeing that it's continuing to go down, you're fine. You made money going down. Again, you got a little bit of snapback channel here. Look at your trend again. The trend is your friend. You're red under yellow, going through the sweet spot in the negative direction, then comes back down. So you're still in this thing. Here's where your initial position was. Now you're making money to here. Again, snapping back. But the point is, you're seeing that snapbacks are just, all snapbacks do is create these M pattern formations, which give more support or resistance to keep letting the stock keep coming down on you. So don't panic when you get snapbacks. Maybe now, because we are oversold, because we're under 32%, maybe now is a time to start reducing your position on it. That is my take on snapback. So if you want to do something here, if it's me, especially because I have news coming out today, I'm going to, I guess, put a tracker share on it to go long. And I hope that I get some green candlesticks that go like this. And of course, my red line has to cross up like that through yellow, which would follow like that. And then hopefully it gets into the sweet spot and you make some money. You will face resistance here at this 100-day moving average, which is about 87 bucks. All right. I've been seeing a lot of eBay. We'll do eBay. Fubo. I don't know what Fubo is. Okay, eBay is for sure a downtrend. I mean, this is a beautiful short. You could have added right here. You could have added right here. You could have added right here. Yeah, this is a nice short. You were beautifully coming down through the sweet spot. If you got this, good for you. And then, of course, you hit your 100 and 200-day moving averages right around here, and you bounce back up. So this short is almost over. eBay is... the thing I really like about eBay from a fundamental perspective is nobody does what eBay does. You have websites out there that do sell stuff and this and that, but in my opinion, eBay doesn't have any competitors at that grand of a scale. Yeah. You've been seeing it a lot since I said it 6 times. Well, there you go, Spicer. All right, let's do Cardinal Health. I am invested in Cardinal Health right now. Let's see what they're doing today. Let's go to, nope, I want to go here. Cardinal Health is up 45 cents right now, 57.80. When do they pay a dividend? When's that coming out? They pay their dividend on 3/31, so about 2 weeks. So right now, I like where our stochastic is. We're up here in this 80% area. I have a nice green candle. Let's see what happens this morning. I don't really know, but let's check it out from a long-term perspective. Okay, so it broke through resistance Friday at 56.35, and I like that we were up, we were down, we were all over the place on Friday, but I like that we finished here on top of this resistance line, this 56.35. That's what matters most to me, is finishing up there. I like that we're coming through the sweet spot. The thing that really made me like Cardinal Health overall is look how consistent their volume is for a solid month. I mean, that's rare. I mean, even when you look back here, look how inconsistent the volume was. It looked all over the place. This is a very consistent stock, and it almost hit its daily average, which is this brief yellow line here, or faded yellow line. So what do I want to see in this? First of all, we are pre-market, so that's the difference. But the bid and ask is 55 cents pass. That needs to be 1 or 2 cents. What do I want to see today? What I want to see is a green engulfing candlestick like that. I hope I get that. If I do, there's a very good chance that I add to this again today. Let's zoom out 6 months. Yeah, I mean, if I can get an engulfing candlestick like that today, I will be adding to this. And if you are in the Bid and Ask Nation, which is our whatever you call it, Patreon, that is going. I update all of my trades in there the second I make them. So you guys will be able to trade it with me if you like. And Don, maybe you could put the link for the Patreon in the chat, and we'll go from there. All right. Are you having a good morning? Yeah, I'm having a great morning. Rig. I like rig. Some oil. Oh man, look at that run. So energy has been doing very well lately. If you look at any of the energy in the last, I don't know, 3 months or so, it's moving. Thanks, Don. Right now we're getting into this overbought area. I like that we're over all of this stuff. The thing that is very hard for me about oil is that it moves based on news. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of this EV talk is going to be moving news, but don't worry. Oil's not going anywhere in the near future. All you need to know is everything that happened with Workhorse, Oshkosh, and the, what do you call it? The United States Postal Service. The fact that they said that the fleet of the U.S. Postal Service will be 10% by 2033 tells me all I need to know that oil's not going anywhere, because they're only planning on converting 10% of their vehicles to EV. So that alone makes me say that oil is not going out of the way anytime soon. I'm thinking about upgrading my Patreon to the Bid and Ask Nation. Tell me how stupid I am for not doing it. I mean, if you want me to call you stupid, I will. But I would rather not call you stupid and just tell you to upgrade, and you will make a lot of money learning how to trade not only stocks and options, but just how to think different, and just a different mentality of life, I guess. All right. Stocks are open. Let's see what they're doing right off the rip. Okay. NASDAQ is flat. I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but let's see what Cardinal Health is doing. Not open like that. I want to see what this game... I saw somebody type in GameStop. I just want to see. 275. Nice. All right. Let me scroll here. I hope that answers your question on RIG. IBM. Let's look at IBM. Oops. IBM. 143 watching, 71 likes. Guys, hit the like button. All right. IBM. That is a lot of gaps. Holy moly. That's a lot of news movement. So it is a 50%er. We have our high here. We have our low here. And then we have this middle range where you can see that there's a lot of... This is a good example of what a 50% stock is. So every time I say 50%er, this is showing that the stock is going to be getting to that area like Boeing was and bouncing back down because people are taking profits. So all of this area right here, again, this is called overhang. And if you are in the Patreon, there is a definitions page about all of these things that I'm talking about. So if you guys want to like learn it and memorize it and do whatever you want with it, overhang is in there, and that's what this is. So the point is, if you just joined, stock price moves up on you, it gets to a certain level and it pulls back down, gets up, pulls down. There was a guy on CNBC on Friday or Thursday last week, and he was talking about what's happening with the NASDAQ. And he was like, yeah, it just keeps getting halfway up there and then it keeps pulling back. And I was like, okay, well, there it is. They don't have a name for it, but that's exactly what it is. But these gaps that are happening, let me clear this out. These big gaps, I do not like that. I mean, that is a lot of movement. That is very news related. I know that. Earnings related, news related, what have you. But overall, on this side, I like what they're doing. That you are getting some kind of engulfing candlestick. If this thing goes up here today and fills out in green and takes out this high, you can go ahead and add to it. So basically what I'm saying is if you break through this resistance and stay there, you're fine. You will face resistance here up in this 133 area, and I would be willing to bet that this thing will hit this area up here and then come back down, because unless there's some kind of news where this thing can gap up like this and continue to move, I just don't foresee this stock staying up here. I do want to check Boeing one more time to see what it's doing this morning. Good Lord. All right. Yeah, Boeing is moving. Maybe this is, like I said, maybe this is the news that it needs to break out and get going. All righty. Do I have Forex? No, I do not. GME is an index, not a stock. I like that. All right, I'll do Apple. I am curious to look at Apple. All right, so Apple it's oversold. What I'm hoping for, Cash. I'll do Square in a second. What I'm hoping for is this thing turns up like that. Yellow line follows suit like that, and we get going in that direction. Now, I am not one to short Apple. That's just not my thing. It's not worth, the juice is not worth the squeeze for me at this point. I watch 7. I think they're coming out with new iPads next, maybe the 23rd. I think they have a keynote, and then I'm just reading this from like macrumors.com or whatever that website is. I don't know what it's called. But I didn't know they were coming out with a new Apple Watch. I knew that they were coming out with a new iPad and releasing it on the 26th, which is Friday. So if you want to do something with this, to me it's tracker share. Just buy one share, wait until this red line turns up and the yellow line follows suit. I wouldn't short this. I mean, it's up to you, but that's my take. I want to do Square real quick because we have some people shorting this. All right. So with this short on Square, this is a good example of, you could have put a position on right here. You were in the sweet spot coming down, and this is just a snapback going against you. So it basically bounced off the 100-day moving average, bounced up, and now it's kind of holding up. It's being held up by the 25-day moving average. So we're going to see if this thing can come down with some red candlesticks like that, and hopefully you can break this low of 192, 191, whatever that number is. But your trend is still looking pretty good for a short, so stick with it. Just maybe it's one of those ones you put stops in place for. New announcements are going to be coming from Apple in the next coming weeks. So so that's going to be something. I'm doing some remodeling in a house that I'm buying, and the contractor came in with a big iPad, that big 12.9 thing, and I saw it and I was like, yeah, I want that thing. So I almost bought one. Then that's what made me start reading about this this new release and all their new equipment that's coming out. So I think I'm gonna wait. Omar, I mean, I guess I could look at AMC. This is probably insane. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you do what you want to do with this, but I can't give you advice on this. This is crazy. My thoughts on Nokia. I think that Nokia, my father decided to buy Nokia in 2017, and Don came into my office the week that the GME stuff was happening, and he said, "Have you seen Nokia?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I think I own Nokia," or something like that. And I went ahead and logged into my account. Well, I didn't know which account it was in, and we sold it. I mean, I sold it for like a 50% profit or something like that. So do I think Nokia is good as far as a company? Not so much. I mean, if you want me to look at the chart, I can. They got short squeezed. I got so lucky with Nokia. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Don't do anything with this. Go find a better stock. There's 10,000 stocks out there. Let's see. Do I do UK stocks? I mean, I can see if I have this IAG. Oh, yeah, I got it for you. I'm assuming this is the same one you want. Okay, you got first day green, which means that your red line has crossed into the sweet spot. But you have a lot of resistance to go through. That's the tough part. If you want to do something, you can put, this is a good example of something you would put a tracker share on just because it has gone into the sweet spot. But this red line needs to come up through here. This yellow line needs to get going through here, and then you'll do something. But what do we got? What's the average? Oh, okay. You got pretty good volume on this thing. Yeah, throw a tracker share on, see what it does. CCL. Oh yeah, I forgot the time change. That's right. All my clocks and everything is off. CCL, that's it. All right. I want to look at this 15-minute chart for CCL. Oops. We got markets a little bit up. Oh my goodness. CCL is moving. It's almost, did it hit $30 yet? It hit $29.71. Yeah, I don't know. This one might be, what is my value on this thing? I think it's 40 bucks. Oh, it's 40 to 56. So they're breaking through again. This is gonna, they're a 50%er, but you can see that. Let me try to draw this straight. Let me try. So this is where they couldn't get through previously. Let's draw that straight across and look where they are now. So maybe this thing is starting to move. They're not sailing yet. So this is all based on news and hope that things are going to work out. Now, when we zoom into here, you can see that our red line is on top of yellow, over 80%, but it's kind of falling down on us. So, man, I don't know. This is going to be a tough one. If this red line drops through like that, let me just use red. If this red line comes through and falls like that, then it's going to be some kind of short. But the way that they're talking, I only see in the near future, and by near future, I mean month or so, the only thing I see is good things coming for AT&T. I am really starting to think about taking profits on CCL, just because I get very nervous when we get into 50% areas. Now, can I miss them? Yeah, for sure. But I'm thinking about taking profits on CCL. Do you guys use limit orders or do you use a special program to buy and sell? For options, I use limit orders. Depending on the size of my purchase, of how many shares I'm actually just buying to go long, I'll use a limit order. Usually I'll have the broker do it for me though, because they can bleed it in, especially if the company is a little bit smaller. I don't want to move the stock price. SFM. I was looking at that this morning before we went live. This was Spicer found this thing for me. It didn't set up as beautifully as I thought it would. I wanted it to go sideways like this. I didn't want it to shoot up like it is. And I'm just not getting the price movement that I want on this thing. It's a nice setup. You can probably buy it today if you get to the top of this candle. You're going to have resistance at 2503. 2503, yeah. But not for me. Schlumberger. Schlumberger used to be one of my 5 stocks that I always traded. Again, energy. Actually, I might. No, I don't. You're overbought, but you're still moving in the upward positive direction. So the only way I'm adding to this thing is if I get engulfing candlesticks and break out over this high. And then, of course, if this, let me zoom in here for you just to show you how to take profits on this thing. If this red line turns and dips below this 80% area and the yellow line follows suit and it's right above it, take your profits, get out of that thing. But I mean, you're okay for now. You're playing with fire, but you're okay for now. I think CCL has room. Their 2022 demand is higher than 2019. So Aaron, yeah, it's pre-booking. What I want to know is, I mean, that's great. I'm happy that people are going on cruises again and booking that far out. What I want to know is, are they booking at old prices, or are they booking at extremely discounted prices just to get people on the boats? That's the question. They're going to have to do that. And I'm perfectly fine with that. You have to, I mean, you got to start somewhere. But when are they, from a values perspective, when are they going to start filling boats again at pre-COVID levels? That's the question that I want to know. It's not just about getting people on the boats in the long term. Of course, in the short term, it's about getting butts on the boats. But yeah, Mo has some overhang, but it looks like pushing through its 52 week. Let's see. The Altria group. Yeah, did you say 50? Yeah, so it is a 50%er. Yeah, I mean, it's moving. A lot of these stocks are moving. A lot of these 50%ers are going. Man, look at that. Like, I've never really seen a line just going straight up. I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but so if you're playing with this, just make sure you're using, so here's your high, here's your low, and here's that middle area. Let's see, where's 50%? About right here. So this area is all overhang. And this is what Dad's is talking about. So you're getting this pushing down on you. Now, we have broken through. That's the good news. What I want to see is, can this continue? I don't know. These 50% stocks make me nervous, especially with all the volatility that we had in the past week based on, to me, nothing. Moving basis points up 50 or 60 points over a couple week period coming off of a 1.2 Treasury yield is not a big deal in my opinion, but that's what moved it. So that's what's making me nervous. Let's see. It's extremely discounted. Oh, so you did look at cruises yesterday. Yeah, I believe it. Alibaba, I mean, I don't trade. I would never buy this company. I don't trade Chinese stuff. I don't trust them. But right now, it's oversold. If this thing turns back up and moves into the sweet spot going in the positive direction, you can grab it. But I don't advise trading Chinese companies. Will it break resistance? Cisco. Yeah, we can look at Cisco. This was a good one. Again, another 50%er. So there are a lot of 50%ers in this stock. It's in this market. Let's see where the halfway point is. Yeah, I mean, there it is. When I'm leaning back, I'm just looking to draw a line between this line and this line. And pretty much every time I draw it, you see exactly where that half is. So tried to break it, tried to break it, tried to break it. It's trying to do it one more time. So let's see. It just makes me nervous to start investing in companies like this when I look and I see that they have a history of hitting that resistance point and then falling on me. So just be careful. AMAT, can we do BTI? Cameron, I think you are in my Patreon and you asked about this. Let's see. Okay, what I do like is that we're over all of its major moving averages. Okay, let me zoom out just to double check. 50%er again. You can see, guys, when I keep saying this, but it's very important to know this because here's your 50%. And there it is. This is that area that it can't get through. So it's doing the same thing again. Good news is through all of its major moving averages. You will face resistance here about 39.50, something like that. So you can buy it. And if you have some good engulfing candlesticks moving up, but once you get into this area, just be aware that you need to take your profits because it's going to be no bueno for you. But you have a good trend, decent volume, should be all right. What about Roku? Roku, the one that got away. I just can't get over the fact that company did that. I mean, they make a good product, but man. Okay. It's a short. It's oversold. If you were short in this, probably take some profits. You're going into this 100-day moving average. That's what's holding you above this line. So make sure you're using that 100-day as some kind of support line and profit taking line. Wow, look at that bid and ask difference. It's $1. It's over $1. So yeah, just I wouldn't do anything with this. This is a watch list one. I wouldn't even throw this on a tracker share. I would just do a watch list. All right. Well, I am going to go and look at CCL, and I'm going to make a decision if I'm going to take profits or not. Let me do a 10% net present value. $50 to $70. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this thing yet. So, Jasper, I'll do Blackberry for you. Just because I like your name. So this is a tracker share. This is a dog stock. Dog stocks are ones that go on the bottom and they just go sideways for about a month or more. And you're just waiting and waiting. And as they're going sideways, the price is just gradually falling. Now, the idea is to eventually, when you have a tracker share, especially for this one, it's $12. This red line crosses over yellow, and nobody's really paying attention to it. Big funds aren't paying attention to it. And all of a sudden, this thing gets over this 32% area and just starts making green candlesticks going up, up, up for you like this. And hopefully it gets into this area up here. But this is what the benefit of tracker shares are on dog stocks. You can get in them early. You buy one share and just let it go. Worst case scenario, BlackBerry goes out of business. You lose $12 a share. I mean, you lose $12, period. So this is a perfect stock to put a tracker share on if you want to with BlackBerry. So good one for teaching. CCL is playing jump rope with $30. Yeah, that was its last resistance. Yeah. BlackBerry was part of the... That's right. You're right. BlackBerry was part of the Wall Street bets thing or whatever. What is it called? Wall Street bets. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, if you guys like this, I'll be back on Thursday. Join the Bid and Ask Nation. It is $55 right now. I think there's less than 20 spots left. Once those 20 spots are gone, it is gone. So if you are in our lowest level of the Patreon, bump yourselves up. If you are not in this at all and you want to learn how to make some money, I mean, there's guys in there that have, guys and girls, that have made, that signed up last week. No, I'm sorry, signed up 3 weeks ago. We traded HRB together, H&R Block, and we all made 15%. Some of them paid for their entire year of Patreon in that one trade alone. So it is very valuable. We talk about options. We talk about a lot of things in there. So if you guys like it, jump in. I can't wait to have you. And y'all have a great day. I will see you tomorrow on the live stream at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then I'll see you on Thursday for this. Yeah. All right. See y'all. Have a great day.